The libraries have become my candy store. Julina Kimball.
Education is the best provision for old age.
An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. Benjamin Franklin.
Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten.
We read to know we are not alone. C.F. Lewis.
The foundation of every state is the education of its youth.
The books that help you the most are those which make you think the most.
The foundation of every state is the education of its youth.
The library is like a place of sacredness.
Only the educated are free.
Words are the voice of the heart.
Only the educated are free.
When I discovered libraries, it was like having Christmas every day.
Education has for its object the formation of character.
I have always imagined that paradise will be a kind of the library.
The great aim of education is not knowledge but action.
Literature is my utopia.
Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
Reading maketh a full man.
Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
We shouldn't teach great books. We should teach a love of reading.
The direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future life.
The end of reading is not more books but more life.
The direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future life.
We say library was dukedom large enough.
The very spring and roof of honesty and virtue lie in good education.
When I got library card, that was when my life began.
The very spring and roof of honesty and virtue lie in good education.
It is the good reader that makes the good book.
The very spring and roof of honesty and virtue lie in good education.
When I get a little money, I buy books, and if any is left, I buy food and clothes.
The very spring and roof of honesty and virtue lie in good education.
The best effect of any book is that it excites the reader to self-activity.
It is only the ignorant who despise the education.
When I step into this library, I cannot understand why I ever step out of it.
Education is a progressive discovery of our own ignorance. Education is a progressive discovery of our own ignorance.
Force yourself to reflect on what you read paragraph by paragraph.
Teachers open the door. You enter by yourself.
There is more treasure in books than in the entire pirates loot on Treasure Island.
If you would thoroughly know anything, teach it to others.
A good book is the best of friends, the same today and forever.
If you would thoroughly know anything, teach it to others.
A library is a hospital for the mind.
If you would thoroughly know anything, teach it to others.
He who destroys a good book kills reason itself.
Learning without thought is laborious. Thought without learning is perilous.
Except a living man, there is nothing more wonderful than a book.
Whosoever neglects learning in youth loses the past and is dead for the future.
Anyone who has a library and a garden water for nothing.
Whoever ceases to be a student has never been a student.
Reading is a basic tool in the living of a good life.
A wizened mind has something yet to learn.
We should read to give our souls a chance to lecturate.
Learning is not compulsory, neither is survival.
I cannot live without books.
All men by nature desire knowledge.
Except a living man, there is nothing more wonderful than a book.
To be conscious that you are ignorant is a great step to knowledge.
He fed his spirit with the bread of books.
The beginning of knowledge is the discovery of something we do not understand.
Never judge a book by its movie.
If you have knowledge, let others light their candles.
To read without reflecting is like eating without digesting.
Knowledge is power.
A house without books is like a room without windows.
The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance.
The oldest books are sternly just out to those who have not read them.
Force without wisdom falls of its own weight.
Good as it is to inherit a library, it is better to collect one.
Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life.
Books are like those erected in the great sea of time.
Wisdom overweights any wealth.
Books are embalmed minds.
No man is wise enough by himself.
Books let us into their souls and lay open to us the secrets of our own.
Not by age, but by capacities, wisdom acquired.
Medicine for the soul, inscription over the door of the library of thieves.
Good people are good because they have come to wisdom through the failure.
A good book has no ending.
The basis of democratic state is liberty.
A book is like a garden carried in the pocket.
Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it.
Some books leave us free and some books make us free.
Patterning your life around others' opinions is nothing more than slavery.
The worth of a book is to be measured by what you can carry away from it.
In the truest sense, freedom cannot be bestowed. It must be achieved.
Learning is weightless, a treasure you can always carry easily.
Liberty is not a means to higher political end. It is itself the highest political end.
Life transforming ideas have always come to me through books.
Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work.
In books lies the soul of the whole past time.
Measure not the work until the day's out and labor on.
People will not be better than the books by they read.
Get happiness out of your work, or you may never know what happiness is.
The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page.
By the work one knows the workman.
A book is a friend, a good book is a good friend.
My work is a game, a very serious game. Create and steer other people to create. It is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is to use it well. I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. Gender, religion and caste. Overview. In the previous videos, we noted that the existence of social diversity does not threaten democracy. Political expression of social difference is possible and sometimes quite desirable in democratic system. In this video, we apply these ideas to the practice of democracy in India. We look at three kinds of social differences that can take the form of social divisions and inequalities. These are social differences based on gender, religion and caste. In each case, we look at the nature of this division in India and how it gets expressed in politics. We also ask whether different expressions based on these differences are healthy or otherwise in democracy. Let us begin with gender division. This is a form of hierarchical and social division seen everywhere, but is rarely recognized in the study of politics. The gender division tends to be understood as natural and unchangeable. However, it is not based on biology but on social expectations and stereotypes. Sexual division of labor. A system in which all work inside the home is either done by the women of the family or organized by them through the domestic helpers. Why are we discussing things like household work in this textbook? In this video on politics science is the politics. Why not? If politics is about power, then surely male dominance in the household should be considered political. Public or private division. Boys and girls are brought up to believe that the main responsibility of woman is housework and bringing up children. This is reflected in a sexual division of labor in most families. Women do all work inside the home such as cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, tailoring, looking after children, etc. And men do all the work outside the home. It is not that men cannot do housework. They simply think that it is for women to attend to these things. When these jobs are paid for, men are ready to take up these works. Most tailors or cooks in hotels and men similarly. It is not that women do not work outside their home. In villages, women fetch water, collect fuel and work in the fields. In urban areas, poor women work as domestic helper in middle class homes, while middle class women work in offices. In fact, the majority of women do some sort of paid work in addition to domestic labor, but their work is not valued and does not get recognition. The result of this division of labor is that although women constitute half of the humanity, their role in public life, especially politics, is minimal in most societies. Earlier, only men were allowed to participate in public affairs, vote and contest for public offices. Gradually, the gender issue was raised in politics. Women in different parts of the world organized and agitated for equal rights. There were agitations in different countries for the extension of voting rights to women. These agitations demanded enhancing the political and legal status of women and improving their educational career opportunities. More radical women's movements aimed at equality in personal and family life as well. These movements are called feminist movements. Political expressions of gender division and political mobilization on this question helped to improve women's role in public life. We now find women working as scientists, doctors, engineers, lawyers, managers, and college and university teachers, which were earlier not considered suitable for women. In some parts of the world, for example, in a woman or man who believes in equal rights and opportunities for women and men. Discuss all these perceptions of an ideal woman that prevail in our society. Do you agree with any of these? If not, what is your idea of an ideal woman? For example, in Scandinavian countries such as Sweden, Norway, and Finland, the participation of women in public life is very high. In our country, women still lag much behind men despite some improvement since independence. Our is still male dominated. Patriarchal society. Women face disadvantages, discrimination, and oppression in various ways. The literacy rate among women is only 54% compared with 76% among men, similarly smaller. Let's do it. A time use survey was conducted in 6 states of our country. It shows that an average woman works every day for a little over 7.5 hours, while an average man works for 6.5 hours. Yet the work done by men is more visible because most of their work leads to generation of income. Women also do a lot of direct income generating work, but the bulk of their work is household related. This work remains unpaid and invisible. You can conduct a similar time use survey in your own household. Observe all the adult male and female members of your family for 1 week. Every day note down the number of hours each of them spends on the following activities: income generating activity, working at the office or shop or factory or flood field, etc. Household related activity, cooking, cleaning, washing, fetching water, looking after children or elders, etc. Reading and recreation, talking, gossiping, self-care, talking, rest or sleeping. If necessary, make new categories. Add up the time taken on each activity for a week and calculate the daily average for each activity for each member. Do women work more in your family as well? Literary rule by father. This concept is used to refer to a system that values men more and gives them power over women. Proportion of girl students go for higher studies. When we look at school results, girls perform as well as boys, if not better in some places, but they drop out because parents prefer to spend their resources for their boys' education rather than spending equally on their sons and daughters. Now, no wonder the proportion of women among the highly paid and valued job is still very small. On an average, an Indian woman works 1 hour more than an average men every day. Yet much of her work is not paid about, therefore often not valued. The Equal Remuneration Act 1976 provides that equal wages should be paid to equal work. However, in almost all areas of work, from sports and cinema to factories and fields, women are paid less than men even when both do exactly the same work. In many parts of India, parents prefer to have sons and find ways to have the girl child aborted before she is born. Such sex-selective abortion led to a decline in child sex ratio, number of girl children per thousand boys in the country to merely 919. Mummy always says to outsiders, I don't work, I am a housewife, but I see her working non-stop all the time. If what she does is not work, what else is? Can you identify your state on this map? What is the child sex ratio in it? How is it different from others with a different color? Identify and search the states which have child sex ratio below 900. Compare this map with the poster on the next page. How do the two of them tell us about the same issue? Our video shows this ratio has fallen below 850 or even 800 in some states. There are reports of various kinds of harassment, exploitation and violence against women. Urban areas have become particularly unsafe for women. They are not safe even within their own home from beating, harassment and other forms of domestic violence. Women's political representation. All this is well known, yet issues related to women's well-being or otherwise are not given adequate attention. This has led many feminists and women's movements to the conclusion that unless women control power, their problems will not get adequate attention. One way to ensure this is to have more women as elected representatives. In India, the proportion of women is legislature has been very low. For example, the percentage of elected women members in Lok Sabha has touched 14.36% of its total strength for the first time in 2019. Their share in the state assemblies is less than 5%. In this respect, India is among the bottom group of the nations in the world. India is behind the averages for the several developing countries of Africa and Latin America. In the government, cabinets are largely all made even when a woman becomes the chief minister of the prime minister. One way to solve this problem is to make it legally binding to have a fair proportion of women in the elected bodies. This is what the Panchayati Raj has done in India. 1/3 of seats in local government bodies in panchayats and municipalities are now reserved for women. Now these are more than 10 lakh elected women representatives in rural and urban local bodies. Women's organizations and activities have been demanding a similar reservation of at least 1/3 of seats in the Lok Sabha and state assemblies for women. A bill with this proposal has been pending before the parliament for more than a decade, but there is no consensus over this among all the political parties. The bill has not been passed. Gender division is an example that some form of social division needs to be expressed in politics. This also shows that disadvantaged groups do benefit when social divisions become a political issue? Do you think that women could have made the gains we noted above if their unequal treatment was not raised in the political domain? If casteism and communalism were bad, what makes feminism a good thing? Why don't we oppose all those who divide the society on any lines, caste, religion, or gender? Don't worry, we will find a way for you. Hope you enjoyed exploring my world. Now you know all about me. Hope you enjoyed exploring my world. Now you know all about me. I have an insatiable need to create. I have an insatiable need to create. I love my friends like family. I love my friends like family. I love my friends like family. Knowing who I am keeps me focused. Knowing who I am keeps me focused. Playing with pets makes a good day great. Playing with pets makes a good day great. Friends never fail to lift my mood. Friends never fail to lift my mood. Few things are better than good food. Few things are better than good food. Welcome to my languages world. Welcome to my languages world. Welcome to languages world. Welcome to my languages world. Welcome to my languages world. Friends never fail to lift my mood. Friends never fail to lift my mood. Explore my world. Everything possible. Explore my world. Everything possible. No one should feel judged or ashamed of whom they were born to be.